your boy, Statik Selektah, the producer from Boston.
That is not Static.
That's
Statik Selektah.
who recently inked a deal with Jay-Z's, got a management deal with Jay-Z's Rock Nation.
Huh.
He's also been in the studio with Nas, probably working on Nas's new album as well. He's pretty much grown into like a pretty well-known producer in the hip-hop world. Mainly a lot of people from the East Coast rock with him. And there's people from the South that get on this stuff too, mainly 2 Chainz. I think 2 Chainz and him maybe having like a project they're working on together. And if you don't know, it's his 8th album. It's simply titled 8, which came out on December the 8th. Ocho. If you don't know who he is, he's basically a producer, and he puts out these albums, and he has, pretty much a compilation of different artists on here. He's got 2 Chainz, he's got Wiz Khalifa, Run the Jewels, Action Bronson, Wale, G-Eazy, Joey Badass. The Lox. Chris Rivers is on here. Joyner Lucas, Sean Price, Currency, P&B Rock, Lil Fame.
Royce the 5'9".
Raekwon, Everlast.
No Malice,
Prodigy, one of Prodigy's last tracks. Joel Santana's on here. So it was a pretty a pretty strong offering for, as far as the artists that are on here. What did you think of this project as far as, because he's the producer on here? Let's first and foremost, let's talk about the production.
I like the production.
Right.
I felt it was strong in that whole grown up sense. Like he had the East Coast. I mean, it was different from usually what I listen to, but when I listen to something that has this sound, this is what I want. Because it's not the typical beats that I listen to.
It's quality.
It's quality.
It's definitely quality. When you're talking about like East Coast vibes, right? It's quality. When we listen to Rob, what's the guy from Genius? I can't think of his last name right now, but it's the journalist turned rapper.
Fuck.
I can't think of his name, man.
I can't think of his name either.
But when I listen to his project, it's like he kind of would have fit in somewhere here, but like that's kind of what, like, this sound as far as like production is what I was kind of expecting from Rob. You know what I'm saying? There's definitely a lot of strong, like the sound that you get from here. This was originally supposed to come out in the summertime. This was kind of crazy. I don't think this would have rocked in the summertime. I really think this is like a winter album. You know what I'm saying? Because I picture people walking in the cold air, bundled up, the earplugs in, getting on the subway, walking through gray skies. This is kind of like the vibes that I get. It's just kind of got a melancholy kind of vibe to it. And it's got a lot of soul. There's a couple of tracks on here that's got soul. He's got a couple soul samples on here. But for the most part, man, it's definitely like a rap album.
Rob Markham.
Markman.
I said Markham. I always say that, but Markman, yeah.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, Rob Markman. Yeah.
Yeah, Markman, yeah.
And this is definitely a strong project. Definitely gonna.
Oh, it was strong.
Probably my favorite track on here was the one with Joyner Lucas, Don't Run. It was a very dope. The production didn't really sound like too East Coasty, if that makes sense, for better lack of words.
Yeah,
it was definitely a dope ass track. I really liked what Joyner Lucas was doing on there.
Yeah, I mean, Joyner has a vision, so as long as he is still heard, like if he has a platform or someone that's going to put him out there, somewhere to be he's put on this album, he's going to make the most of it.
Right.
I know he would. Yeah, that was definitely a great song. I actually enjoyed Action Bronson's song too.
Right. Like, Watching Myself.
Yeah. Action Bronson, he goes in on the sneak,
right.
People fucking downplay that. Like, nah.
No, Action Bronson's dope. He has like these moments where like he's just kind of fucking around and he's just kind of being silly. But then he has moments where he's like, "Yo, like this motherfucker's cold as shit." You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And some of those moments are definitely on that song.
Fucking Sheik Luch destroyed his verse.
Right, Sheik Luch did a good job on there.
Sheik Luch.
I'll tell you what that shit he was talking about.
I think he went harder than Styles P and Jada.
That's interesting.
Honestly, and
I take alert.
And I like their verses. Not to say I thought they were white. Nah, I like their verse, but Sheik spoke to me on that one. I'm like, man, that shit go hard. Like,
I really like the track with Prodigy too, because it kind of gave me this kind of like dark New York grungy kind of feel. You know what I'm saying? That you only can get
from Mobb Deep,
right? With like
feel like
it kind of reminded me of like when Prodigy would work with Alchemist. Sometimes he would get into these sounds would be like real spacey, but they'll be like kind of dark and grungy at the same time, man. And it definitely has that vibe, man. I don't know when Prodigy did his verse for this, but it came out, after his death. Yeah. So y'all should definitely check out Prodigy doing his thing.
Yeah.
It's all tracks are produced by Statik Selektah except the track with that track I just said, which kind of gave me an Alchemist feel. It's co-produced by the Alchemist. You know what I'm saying? So right. So that's where it kind of gave me the vibes from it. But all in all, this was a pretty strong.
I like that Be Real and Everlast too.
Yo,
they did that whole Biggie. It was all dream type feel.
Right. Yeah, they did. Which I haven't really heard too much from Everlast since the Eminem slaughter.
Yeah,
but it was actually good hearing him. It was like, okay, you know what I'm saying? Like this is like a place for like real rappers.
Yeah,
like you come to Statik Selektah. He's got a radio show on, I think on satellite or whatever.
Yeah.
I can't remember. I think it might be on Shade 4 or 5. Mm-hmm. But when you get around here, like this is where the bars come out. This is where the raps. This is where the spitters come to hang. You see what I'm saying?
There's people I never heard of that went in. Yeah, I was like, okay, definitely. I'm like, now I know who you are, or you know what I'm saying. We'll see. Maybe something come out in the future.
What do you think? First off, a couple questions. What do you think about 2 Chainz?
2 Chainz. Yeah. I didn't even realize it was him at first. It was like
the Man of the Hour.
Yeah, Man of the Hour. Song was a hot song.
It's interesting because 2 Chainz gets a lot of props whenever he's on Statik Selektah shit.
Yeah,
gets a lot of props. I don't know what it is, but people like to hear. I think that's why they may be there. There's talks that maybe they're coming out with a project. So I'm not too sure on that. So don't quote me on this.
It's a possibility. You never know.
What about Run the Jewels?
Run the Jewels?
Yeah, Killer Mike and whatnot.
Fucking went in.
Yeah.
That shit was dope. Man, like, this whole shit, like, I could say it was almost like a breath of fresh air.
Right.
To hear this, because it was like, I got to hear shit I haven't heard, but it's dope.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, quality shit.
Got to hear Joel's.
Yeah, you got to hear Joel's going again. Like, you ain't got to hear him.
Doing his kind of funny raps.
Yeah.
Does.
But he fucking, it was
I think he said in his rhymes, did I do that? I think he said that, didn't he?
Yeah.
Then he said that, and I was like, fucking Jewels.
And if Currency, I mean,
this one with Spitter was dope.
Fucking that shit was player. Which you tagging your track with Spitter on the same episode.
I did.
Look at that.
That's right, y'all. If y'all go listen to the very beginning where we talked about the intro music to the podcast. There's 2 people that I feel like should have been on this project, and I feel like should be on every Statik Selektah's project. Statik Selektah. 3 people actually.
Who?
Nas.
Yeah.
Nas should have been on here.
Very strong argument.
Willie the Kid should have been on here. And Elzai should have been on this project. That's my only issues. Nas should have been somewhere on here. Elzai and fucking Willie the Kid. I feel like they fit in this realm, and this is who
they definitely fit in this realm.
Right.
Fucking Royce went in also. Which I didn't think there's no way I didn't think he would. I mean, I knew he was going to bring it.
Side note about Royce, when I was listening to this Untouchable song, there are parts in there where I feel like it sounds like Royce.
No.
I think Royce might be helping Eminem with some of his lyrics.
Think so?
Hot take alert.
Hot
take alert.
What?
I just remember hearing a part in the song. I'll play it for you after the podcast. Yeah. But I remember hearing a part in the song where I was like, that's very Royce-ish.
Yeah.
Hot take, you.
Royce-ish.
Royce-ish.
Like, you heard Trump.
Right.
United America.
Royce-ish. Nah, but what'd you give this album? Let's get back to this review, man. What'd you give this album on a scale of 1 to 10, man?
What I give this album? I gave this a 9.
9?
Yeah.
I gave this a 9 too.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
It was good quality. I loved it. Like I said, breath of fresh air. Heard artists I've never heard that held their own with the artists I have heard.
Right. And there's a good mixture of...
And the beat?
The beats was definitely dope.
Yes.
There's a good mixture of artists that are on here. Because you never know what's going to come next. It's always like a different thing.
Yeah.
To have 2 Chainz and, people like G-Eazy and, Everlast. I mean, where else you going to find an album like
that has those 3 artists
on the same album?
Yeah, many of these. I mean, you could say the whole list, and it's like, where would you have found an album that had all these artists together?
Right.
But Statik Selektah did that shit.
Right. And the standout track to me was Don't Run with Jordan Lucas. So shout out to Statik Selektah.
I think
keeping that sound alive and keeping it going. I guess you would call it boom bap, but you know what I'm saying? But I don't even know if it's that, man. I think it's a little bit more than that.
It's more that, like, what it is dope. Like,
he's really crafted his own, like, sound almost, man. It's like it's his shit. You know what I'm saying? I always know when it is because I know he does a lot of stuff with Joey Badass, and I already know what's going to come out of that, man. So shout out Joey Badass. He was killing that shit too.
Yeah, he killed that shit.